there was this feeling or this like energy that wanted to be addressed. And the whole concept was like, I feel like some of you really struggle with the concept of like meeting expectations. And there's this whole theme of like expectations that came up. And it was just like, that was the one thing that came through. And it was like, you need to, like, someone here who struggles with meeting expectations needs a reading. And so we're going to get into that for y'all. All right. Universe, please inside information. What can you tell? You know what? You tell me about yourself. Tell me about you. What would you like me to know about you when it comes to this meeting expectations thing? Four of Swords, King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Four of Pentacles, the Devil. Y'all might be some overthinkers as well. I think this is one of the heaviest things that like weighs on your mind here with this Four of Swords. It's this idea of like, I'm supposed to have it all together. And there is this like timeline that, I'm going to say because this is what I feel like I'm getting from your train of thought. There's this timeline that I'm supposed to go through, and it's like really focused on like financial abundance, career success. And I feel like you tried to follow you tried to follow those steps, and it was like, okay, I do this and then I do that and then I'm going to have all of this. But it just didn't pan out that way. Like, you did everything right that you were supposed to do. And I felt like you did everything that you were supposed to do. That's like the frustrating part. It's like you did everything that you were told to do. It almost feels like you had a really strict upbringing, or like a really like regimented idea of like step by step what you're supposed to do in your life, and then along that the things that you aren't supposed to do as well in these different chapters of your life, to make sure that you stay on track and you meet the expectations, and you get to this part and this part and this part and this part, and you did the things. And there's this thing of like, well, I'm supposed to have everything now, but I feel like the everything that you have, it either isn't everything that you were told you were supposed to have, like you did all of the things and you didn't get that end result, or you have everything that you're supposed to have, but you aren't happy with it. So it's like, it doesn't even bring you happiness. And I feel there's just this like very significant lack that comes around. But it's like, this is all you've known. Like, doing this process and trying to meet the expectations is all you've known. So it feels like there's this really toxic thing where there's this resentment towards the expectations, and there's a resentment towards the path that you've taken, and a resentment towards the things that you have, and a resentment towards the way that you feel about it, about like not being happy with it and not feeling fulfilled with it. But also like you can't step away from it either. Like there's like this thing of like, well, you're chained to it. You're chained to this path and chained to meeting these expectations. Why can't I breathe, y'all? I feel it all through my diaphragm. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see what. Okay, so that's you. Thank you for telling me about you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna ask some different questions this time. Because I did a reading for a friend yesterday, and I like asked certain questions, and it was really good, because this is what I feel like I'd want to ask myself. But this is not. I know that this isn't my energy, because I've just never ever I've taken everyone's expectations and I've been like, don't fucking tell me what to do. I hate being told what to do. So you can't really disappoint anyone's expectations if you disregard them completely. That's been me. But I feel like you and whoever, like you and I, me and the person I'm talking to, you have clearly very different upbringings, or like maybe our families had different values, or just different. The stars were different the night we were born, you know. I feel like you following in these expectations, it is actually very against your nature, and you've been like pressing up against that for a really, 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 really long time, to the point where I think you've almost forgotten like how free-spirited you are. But then I feel like your free-spiritedness, it manifests in all these other different ways. It's almost like you really, really struggle with expectations, but you're fulfilling that mostly in your day-to-day life. So the free-spiritedness and the recklessness and the chaos and the like needing to switch things up, it ends up happening in places that you don't want it to, because that feeling wants to be expressed so badly, and it's not getting expressed in your like life path. It's not getting expressed through your purpose. So it's getting expressed accidentally through your relationships, through maybe parts of your work, like things start going wrong. And what it is it's actually you fighting for some kind of control to get away from the expectations, because part of you just doesn't like it, like actually hates it. But I feel like you quietened that voice a really, 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 really long time ago. Aww. Okay. Let's see. Have the 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. The more you continue on this path of like following along in the following that path of like the expectations, and you keep trying to fulfill that, it's going to take you further and further away from the things that actually fulfill you, and you're going to just feel more and more locked out. Like the more time goes by, it's going to feel worse and worse, because it's going to feel like it's too late to change what you're doing. Yeah, so it's like the analogy I have is like you decide to take a different career path from like your absolute like dream, and then you continue on that career path for long enough, and then you keep committing to that. You're like, well, I've been here for this long. I've been doing this for 5 years, 10 years. I can't, like, I've put all this time into it. I may as well see it through to the end of your life. And then it's also like, well, I'm too old. It's too late for me now to go and try do this creative thing or this artistic thing. Like, and you're just going to feel further and further away from this other fulfillment that you could have had. This one hurts me. This one hurts me in my soul. Because I could have seen that happening for me. I was studying something totally different from music, and because I just thought, music wasn't going to be the thing. And it wasn't until I was like, I would rather not live than do anything else with my life. And I completely, I smashed my parents' expectations of me to smithereens. And now they're so proud of me. Oh my God, Dan, look at what you've done. We're so proud of you. They love me. Oh, we always knew you could do it. Sure. Yeah, okay. You weren't panicking and telling me not to do music. I love my parents so much. They're so protective. That's what they're meant to do. I don't know if they're meant to discourage their kids from following their dreams, but like they do out of the goodness of their hearts, They are the biggest supports right now. Like they, what else would you do when your kid goes into a highly competitive industry? Anyways, I just feel this. I feel like there's this dream that you have, and I feel like you feel like it's slipping through your fingers more and more, and I feel like you've already, like, part of you's already given it up, but there's this deep part of you that never wanted to and always tried to, like, keep it in your life and keep it in your world, and like a lot of things, it's like falling away. But what the big thing is like, there's that. The longer you let this happen, the further away it's going to be, the harder it's going to be to ever get yourself to a place where you can even reconsider, like, changing your path. And then there's just so much, like, the big feeling is just like trapped and resentful. And the more you, like, the more expectations that you quote unquote meet, the further along you're going to get in that path, and you want to finish it to the end of your life. You're going to have more chains holding you down to this life that you were told to want. You were told that this is what you want. But I feel like there's this part of you that was like, I didn't want this. What do you want? What do you want? Can you tell me what you want? What do you want? Two of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. Okay, yep. We're getting connection, for sure. We're getting, like, you want to work on something that is not just like abundance for abundance's sake, like finance for finance's sake. You want to have something that's like something that you created. Like, I do see you as creative. I feel like the priorities of maybe an inner child or an inner voice that you have, like, maybe subdued, is creative and, like, really wants to meet people in connection emotionally. But the big thing, it's like, there's this big creative energy here with the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Huge creative energy. Like, if you could have it your way, you would just be like connecting with people, expressing yourself, and creating, like just sitting at a desk and creating. Like, if that was like the dream, it's like you could go out and hang out with your friends and then just make and create and do, and like that's the pinnacle ideal life for you. But I don't think that that's the path that you're on at the moment. It feels like it's chasing qualification, career ladder type thing, get the financial abundance, not happy with it, and then kind of clinging to the things that do make you happy, but then it keeps you trapped in this thing, and then you're locked away from this, like, Eight of Pentacles thing. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here's the thing that I've been asking when I give my pals readings, because I'm always like, what are your guides going to say? I asked you to tell me about me. I mean, you to tell me about me? No, I asked you to tell you about, I asked you to tell me about you. It is Friday. I have worked so hard this week. My apologies. I need to eat. I need to go and hang out, watch Jersey Shore and eat. But before we do, this is what we need to get before we get into the oracle cards. I'm going to ask your highest self. I'm going to ask your future self what you need to do. What does your future self want you to know about this? What does your future self want to tell you? it's hard to get this message out because I feel like, because it does feel like you're on one path and there is like a part of you that wants to split off. So when I'm asking your future self something, your future self is like still in flux, you know? The big thing is like, come back to your creativity, follow your creativity, and back yourself enough to believe in the success of what you can create and what you can do. I think the reason why it's so easy to subdue the voice that wants to follow maybe a more creative path or a non-conventional path is that you don't believe that that thing is going to be successful. Now, whether or not that's true, you are going to be as successful as you believe you can be. That's what it is. But there's a part of you that would rather you be the champion of your creativity than sitting on top of a pile of money. There seems to be this theme as well of like generosity from other people and a guilt about moving away from a path when certain people have been so generous towards you building this path that has been expected of you. So it's like, well, I don't want to disappoint them. There's a lot of guilt and shame around that as well. Like if you were to just branch off and move away from all of that, that you would be ungrateful in some way. And that's a valid feeling. That's a super valid feeling. And then we have the Two of Wands and the Nine of Swords. It's kind of like these are the two timelines. It's like you can pave your own path and choose your own direction to go in, or the regret of never doing that is going to sit with you and it's always going to be with you. Those are the two future selves, and it's just like that's the point that you're at. These are the outcomes that you could be walking into. Y'all, I hate saying things like this. That's heavy. Okay, let's talk to Two of Wands. Let's talk to, you know, we're living in the in the Marvel multiverse, right? In the everything everywhere all at once, right? Let's go to the timeline of the Two of Wands. Let's have a look at you paving your own path. What does that higher self want to tell you? And then we're going to look at what your not your higher self, your future self of the Two of Wands wants to tell you, and the future self of the Nine of Swords. I feel like I want to say he. What does he want to tell you? But anyways, you could be a masculine energy. I know I'm usually talking in the feminine, but which is always how I talk because that's just like the default. I don't mean it specifically as in you are a girl. I'm just saying like girl. Because I'm not about to be like bruh. No. Girl. But I'd felt like saying he. So a lot of y'all might be a he. Let's have a look at this Two of Wands, okay? Future self. Future you that paved your own path, picked a direction to go in and like went with it with everything that you've got. What do you want to tell the present version of you that is listening to this reading? What do you want to tell them? The Tower, Five of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Y'all, blow it up. Blow everything up. Blow everything up. There's going to be blowback. Everything needs to just come crumbling down. But it's all going to be so worth it. You're going to need to disappoint everyone and go in the direction. Like, there's going to be arguments. There's going to be fights about it. There's going to be people trying to stop you from doing this thing. That's what it's going to take for you to have this Two of Wands energy, to live this life of creativity and fulfillment and you're going to be able to find out what happens when you give your all to this path. But in order for that, everything else has to just like fall apart. Because the path that you've been walking, where you've been meeting expectations, doesn't lead you to the place that you want to go. It leads to a place where they want you to go. So you need to blow up the path, and you need to let go of everything that every step that you've taken down that path. Be like, all right, that's not coming with me. None of this was for the path that I want to go down. Yes, I'm starting a new path. Yes, I'm totally changing the direction that I'm going in. And there's going to be people telling you this is the wrong thing. You're not supposed to be doing this. You put in so much work on this path. You were meeting the expectations. Keep meeting the expectations. It's going to be worth it when you disregard the expectations. You're like, you know what? No, I actually don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I don't want to live this life for the rest of my life. I want to do something that I want to do and that I will enjoy, because I'm the one that has to live my life, not you. It's going to be so worth it. But it's going to come. There's no like gentle process getting from this path to the other, especially because there might have been a time where those paths were close together. And then you started doing more and more, and you were like, those paths started to veer off, and they might have been a little bit parallel, and maybe there was part of you that could keep one foot on this path and one foot on that path and kind of do that. Or, you know, they were running close enough where you could mostly stay on that path and then jump over and hang out on that path for a little bit and then come back. But these paths are so far apart now that it's one or the other, and you will be leaving that path that you've been walking down behind if you jump to the other that you want to walk down. Yeah. If you're going to do this, it's going to be fights about it. You're going to be disappointing some people. You're either going to disappoint some people or you're going to disappoint yourself. At the end of the day, you're the one that is going to live with you. So I don't know. Me, I'll disappoint people all day. I just never want to disappoint myself. I never want to let myself down. Done that enough, you know? Not a good feeling. Takes a lot to heal from that. Anyways, enough about me. Let's get into your future self with this 9 of Swords energy. Okay. Future you. Future 9 of Swords you. Living that life. What do you want to tell your present self? What messages do you want to tell your present self? Yeah, okay. The message is like, it is actually never too late to start again and do things differently. I think that you could be on this path of expectations where you're expected to be an authority, and I think that they want you to have permission to start again and like learn again and see yourself from like step 1 or even like point 0, like at the 0 point where you're like being a student again, almost like coming into it, learning everything from the start. And I think that when that starts to happen, I think there's going to be a lot of unblocking and a lot of healing that happens internally for you that your soul has been craving, because it's like you've had to abandon so many parts of yourself when you have been just constantly meeting expectations. That part of you has been just sad. So as you start to let yourself, I think even if it's like, you know, let's say you're into like, you really want to be an artist and you just start taking a course in graphic design or like something like that. And, or even like, let's say what you really want to do is be a tattoo artist. Let's say that that's the thing, right? And it's not at all the pathway that anyone wants for you or expects you to have, but that's the thing that you're really drawn to. And you start that by drawing, or like you used to draw a lot and now you don't draw as much, right? And the thing that you do is you're like, okay, I'm going to buy a tattoo gun and some of that, like, you know, the silicone skin so that you can just start to have that moving. And it's like, you even being in that process and being like, I'm so new to this, I'm going to give myself the opportunity to be new at this and look at life like, no, but it isn't over. I'm not at the point where I have to set a foundation or anything. Like, that's not what I have to do. I can start all over again, and I can do that now. And you making it a more physical thing that you're doing is actually going to heal so many parts of you internally. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, like there's this healing that happens from it. We had the King of Wands come up at the start of the reading of like, what do you want? Is that what I said? What do you want? No, I don't think I actually did ask that. I said, tell me about yourself. What was it? No, it was, what do you want? It was, what do you want? The King of Wands came up here at some point. No, am I imagining that? No, I'm not imagining that. No, I did. It was over here. Sorry, I'm so scattered. I just want to eat. Yeah, the King of Wands was here. And what we have here is like, okay. We have these like pentacles that are really representing like this new path for you, right? But we also had the King of Wands come up with you, and now we're getting the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. I think that what your future self wants is the opportunity to start again, and the opportunity to heal, and to find someone that matches like the version of you that chose that. Because I think that, yeah, there's a dynamic or a relationship here, or just like, I'm not saying there is a specific person, but it's like you want to inhabit this version of yourself that started again and chose things differently, but also finds and meets your divine pair that meets with that version of you. Now that might be because you, in this other future timeline, you know, there's just a lack of that creativity or whatever it is everywhere, including in the person that you partner with. Or that you just never find someone because you've denied this entire part of yourself, so you can never find anyone that truly aligns with this version of you that's meeting expectations. I don't know, that's weird. I'm so sorry. I'm giving such a scattered reading. I think I need to eat. I think you need to have a big think about how you want to live the rest of your life, and not like what everyone expects you to do. And look, I get it. I thought I was gonna... Girl, I was engaged. Thank God. Thank God I'm not engaged. Can you imagine? Like, I feel like I got a new lease on life. I feel like I'm a teenager with money now. And look, I feel like I might never have another partner again. I might never have children. I'm going to be a cool auntie and have so many cats and just be that like really weird auntie that also just like never ages because she's never stressed ever. Oh my God, my cousins that don't have kids, they're like in their 50s and they look like 20. Like, but like, I'm actually so fine with that being my life, which goes against every expectation that I had for myself, but also so much more aligned. And I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but like disengaging from the expectation that I'm going to meet someone by 30 and then I'm going to get married and then I'm going to have kids. It's like actually not at all what I have to do. It just opens up so many options and it feels so healing and freeing. So I don't think you have to be afraid of releasing expectations yeah. Anyways, let's see what the oracles want to say. Oh my gosh. I thought I get this done before I order some food. Otherwise I'll eat food and I'm not going to do a reading. And that's probably true. But like I am all over the place. The Mirror, self-reflection, writer, big picture. Okay, so two things. Because we talked about the mirror and the start of the reading for the first half of the download, which ended up just being the first 15, 10 minutes of the download and the rest of it has been on the expectations. But yes, we're reflecting on our own feelings when we're in situations, but I think as well for the people that are struggling with the expectations, when you see yourself in the mirror, do you see what the person that you always wanted to be? Or do you see someone that met expectations? And if you were to see the person that you always wanted to see, what would they look like? What would they be doing? And look, do I look at myself in the mirror and see the person that I always thought I would be? Not exactly. But I know the difference. I know the gap between the me that exists and then the me that I always wanted to see. And it's like doing more music, you know? And I'm like, okay, I can work on that gap. Apart from that though, pretty stoked on who I see in the mirror. Not, you know, but there is a gap sometimes, and that points to, you know, what I want, my dreams, my desires, and my innermost joy. I need to go eat. Align your life. What is not aligned or needs to be changed? And we have like this broken mirror. There's been so much of this mirror imagery, and I don't need to say anything else. There's this big misalignment in y'all's lives. What is not aligned or needs to change? Take a chance. Take a chance on yourself. And if you're not ready to take a chance on yourself, or you're not in a place, then go talk to the people that believe in you and love you and would support you through that. Because sometimes that's what we need. If we're constantly around people that are just pushing expectations, then we feel like that's all there is. But when you talk to the people that get it and live it, it helps you see options that you feel like aren't there. Anyways, this is weird reading again. We love a weird reading. I love all the readings. I love being with you all the time. I'm going to go order a burger, maybe some wings, watch Jersey Shore. I love y'all. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will see you in the next reading.